I do want to focus on that issue of perceptions first, though, because that's what most of the reporting on this commission has found. On that topic, I spoke earlier to Maurice Mcleod, who's Chief Executive of Race on the Agenda. I asked him whether, given we have a government that seems to think racism only exists in people's heads, is this focus on perceptions potentially dangerous?
I don't think it's unimportant that this report talks about perceptions. I think perceptions matter. I think it's relevant if a sizable proportion of black people feel that they're being unfairly treated in all these different spheres. It was 60% feel that they've suffered health inequalities, and 75% feel that their human rights are impacted, and 80 something percent feel 85% feel that the police treat them unfairly. That doesn't matter. That matters in and of itself. But I don't think that should take away from just because it talks about people's reactions to systemic racism. I don't think that takes away from the fact that it also talks about the systemic racism itself. We've been through this hideous COVID pandemic where the health inequalities have been proven. That's not People haven't been dying because of their perceptions. They've been dying because they are genuinely unequal in what they're being asked to do and how they're being looked after. So I wouldn't shy away from talking about perceptions, but I don't think it's an either or thing, to be honest. And if people, like I say, there are genuine proposals in there that I think would be beneficial and aren't just about the narrative and how people feel.
Mm. One of the most interesting conclusions in the report was its view as to the failings of the Equalities and Human Rights Commission. So that's the government body charged with enforcing equality law in Britain. It replaced, in 2007, the Commission for Racial Equality. And the report from the cross-party MPs says the following: "We find that the Equality and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, has been unable to adequately provide leadership and gain trust in tackling racial inequality in the protection and promotion of human rights." They note that there are currently no black commissioners on the body. That's something we've spoken about on this show before with Bassett Mahmood, who's a journalist with Newsweek. It also suggests that the EHRC replacing the Commission for Racial Equality was a mistake. I asked Maurice Mcleod for his opinions on the EHRC and this particular conclusion from the report.
It's not had the funding that you would need if you're really going to invest in human rights and if you really take it seriously. So as an organisation, I think it's sort of struggled to sort of do the things it needs to do. Two, it's the way that it's set up. It's not really made to have teeth. It's not. It's I think it's very powerful if it reports against a political party, for instance. That has an impact because the party cares about how it's perceived. But in terms of dealing with systemic issues elsewhere, I'm not sure that it's that well built for it, and I know that the sort of Commission for Racial Equality was one of the things that was rolled into this, and it was for that all rights would get looked at all the same, it would all be wonderful. But as we've seen, when you generalize in that way, you lose the specificity. So it's like dealing with if you sort out BAME inclusion, but you don't think about black inclusion, you can guarantee you're going to leave black people behind, and that's kind of I guess an analogy for slightly what might be happening with the HRC.
As Maurice Mcleod, Chief Executive of Race on the Agenda.